Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Heath, and today we're going to be looking at some squads that we can use for mid-level and low-level accounts. My mid-level account is 4.7 million. I don't have a lot of Galactic Legends. I've only got one Galactic Legend on it. But we're going to be looking at squads that we can use in these low and mid-level accounts. A lot of us don't have these 10 and 9 million accounts that we can use in 5v5 GAC. But these squads are going to be very useful to you no matter what level your account is. As long as you're doing 5v5 GAC, these squads should help you out a lot. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump in this video, see what squads we're going to be looking at and what we need to be focusing on. So here we are on my 4.7 million account. As you can see right here, I've got one Galactic Legend on it. I've got Gas, Darth Vader, Padme, Admiral Piet, and quite a few other pretty good high level and pretty good relic now tunes. But we're going to be looking at squads that we can use inside of 5v5 GAC that don't take a lot of effort to get, that work well at really low levels, gear 10, gear 11, gear 12, and higher once we get them reliced out. But these squads are going to be useful to us early on and even later on inside of GAC, and actually will help us push farther inside of GAC as well. So the first squad that we're going to be looking at right here is CLS. CLS is not a really hard farm. As you can see right here, I put very little effort into it. CLS, R2-D2, Chewbacca, Han Solo, 3PO, and Chewie. The only one we have to be dependent upon raids is Han Solo. We can get him geared up, get all these up to gear 12. Really valuable, really useful on defense or offense as well. Great team to be farming up. They can counter a lot of squads. On defense, it takes a little bit of effort to get them down as well. If you don't have the time, or if you're not able to get C-3PO unlocked, swapping in R2-D2 for the time being until you can get Ewoks upgraded later on will be a viable option. Or you can swap in O-Ben as well. Having a tank in here with CLS is very useful, and O-Ben does work really well with this group as well. These groups are in no particular order. However, I will give you a few tips on how you should be farming some stuff and why you should farm certain things that can actually progress you later on. But as you can see right here, we've got Palpatine, we've got Vader, Mara Jade, the Royal Guard, and Grand Moff Tarkin. Tarkin is easily getting charged from shipments. Royal Guard is very easily to get as well. Mara Jade, as you see right here, my Mara Jade is only 5-star, but she is absolutely amazing once you get her abilities up, make her fast, get her Zeta ability in here, and she would just absolutely rock this team. Darth Vader, again, getting shards for him, not very complicated at all. You can get shards for him relatively easy. Palpatine as well. Once you get Rebels done, you can actually farm Palpatine, get him up, get him upgraded. It can be used on offense and defense as well. And it requires some really hefty teams to actually counter this group early on inside of the game and later on inside of the game as well, once you decide to actually relic it up. All right, next group that we're going to be looking at right here are the Geonosians. Geonosian Brood Alpha, Spy, Poggle, Geonosian Soldier, and Sun Fact. This group right here I primarily use on defense. They still hang up a lot of people even later on inside of GAC. Like I said, 4.7 million. This account right here is in a Rhodium 4, I believe. And it still actually slows down some people on defense. So using this group on defense, and later on you can actually use Geos for another group as well. And I'll be talking about that in just a second. But Geos are a relatively easy farm. A lot of the shards for this group can be taken from shipments inside of the game, relatively free to upgrade, doesn't cost a lot to upgrade. With the increased drop rate on gear for this group, you can actually get them upgraded relatively quickly and make good use of them for later on inside of the game. Again, great overall team, best on defense in my opinion. You can use them on offense. They do counter some teams on offense as well, like Kylo and things like that. But my preference is to use them on defense. So here we are with our next group, and that is General Grievous with B1, B2, Magna Guard, and New Gunray. This group right here, believe it or not, even though it is not geared very well, it does give me a lot of defenses. I have anywhere from 2, 3, 4, sometimes more, and sometimes not even able to take down this group because it slows up groups on offense as they come in here. Using this group on defense is primarily what I do. I very rarely, if any time, use it on offense because they are just so good on defense, and it takes a lot of effort to get this down. Our next group is Night Sisters. I'm a big fan of Night Sisters. Night Sisters do not take a lot of investment. Most of the shards can be obtained in shipments. My Night Sister Zombie is gear 12. My Night Sister Spirit is gear 12. And Towson is gear 12 as well. I never use this group on defense. simply because a lot of people run General Grievous on defense. This group right here goes absolute beast mode. On offense, you can take down General Grievous groups with Nuke Gunray. I've done this successfully in the past. I've come up against Relic 7, Relic 6 General Grievous groups. And even though this gear group is not extremely geared, they are able to take down General Grievous. It does get hairy at times, especially when General Grievous gets ramped up and starts knocking down zombies and towers and things like that. As long as Daka is geared very well with a lot of health, Daka can typically survive pretty much about anything, because whenever anything dies inside the group, Daka gains health. So having her res ability as well. One thing as well, I do have the Omicron ability on Ventress. This is absolutely key a lot of times to keeping them alive. This group works well against things like First Order groups, against General Grievous groups. So using this group on offense is all I ever do. I never use this group on defense. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to get this group upgraded. Even at lower gear levels, you can take down Grievous, take down quite a few other teams as well. All right, so here we have our next group, and that is a Veers lead with Piet, Dark Trooper, Range Trooper, and Moff Gideon. I really wish I would have worked on this group a lot sooner. I do have it upgraded on my mini account to gear 12. This group right here will really provide you a lot of offense, and it works on defense as well, but my preference is keeping it on offense. Actually, during this past round of GAC, I lost to a low-geared Imperial Trooper group because I overlooked just how really good they are together. And once they got ramped up after losing that first round, they were nearly unstoppable. And they are just an absolute amazing group of troopers. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon getting turn meter in your favor, making Moff Gideon really fast, making the Dark Trooper do a lot of damage once he gets ramped up. With Piat's ability, it's going to do mass work for you inside of the game. So here we are, our last little group I put together right here, and that is the Iden lead using her Omicron ability. Make sure whenever you're making this group that none of the other Imperial troopers have leadership abilities, because if they do, she will lose her benefit from her Omicron and Zeta abilities. So I made sure this group right here is a really good combo. Iden lead, Shore Trooper, Dash Trooper, Magna Trooper, and Stark work really well on defense and offense. I run across this group a lot, and I've had issue with it in the past. Now that I know how to counter it, I can get Iden down without much issue now. However, early on, getting them upgraded, troopers are just absolutely amazing. So as you can see right here, this is my mini account that I'm on right now, 1.6 million, and I've got some really nice squads out. Working on CLS at the moment, trying to get them upgraded. Again, there are my troopers that I worked on. This group is actually really fast. Over 300 speed on Moff Gideon, over 300 speed on Admiral Piet now. And like I said, I wish I had worked on this squad inside of my main account. Just do mass work and a lot of damage. Again, Geos on defense do a lot of work and can stop a lot of different teams. Now, this brings me another point that I'm fixing to show you right now. Geos, once you get them unlocked, as I'm sitting right here at 1.6 million, I actually got this next group worked up, and that is Padme lead. Padme on defense is pretty much unstoppable early on. However, there are a lot of good counters to her that you can use in the occurrence of example with the Palpatine lead Vader and Mara Jade. Mara Jade just absolutely wrecks his team right here. But Padme lead, Anakin, Mace Windu, Ahsoka. And as you can see right here, I've got Qui-Gon in here as well. And you're wondering why I don't have General Kenobi. General Kenobi is a pretty long farmer. And so this squad right here works for the time being because Mace does taunt. However, it is not an ideal situation. So once you get General Kenobi unlocked, you're going to swap him in this group right here, swap out Qui-Gon. So you're going to be using Qui-Gon in a different group later on once you get General Kenobi 7-starred and get him up to gear 12. The Grievous group is another option that you can use to get Padme unlocked. Grievous early on, as you see right here, my Grievous is not 7-starred on this account yet. I've still got a good ways to go on Droideka and B1. And if you're wondering why I included Droideka in this group versus Newt like I did in the previous group, Droideka and this group right here is actually can be used to get gas unlocked later on. So you'll need Droideka, and you'll need the B1, and you'll need the B2 as well to be able to get gas unlocked, the Magna Guard also. So keeping that in the back of your mind for a later farm will be useful and will help you progress in the game. Gas of himself is just an absolutely amazing tune. And that brings us to this next group right here. Early on, you're not going to have access to gas. It's going to be nearly impossible to get him unlocked. So in the meantime, you want to be using this next group to help you progress inside of GAC, whether it's on defense or using them on offense as well. That group is Shock T and the clones. Shock T is a bit of a farm. It's going to take a lot of work to get her unlocked and get her upgraded to Gear 7. Currently, I'm still working on there, so it requires you to actually get ships to be able to get her shards, but Rex, 5s, Arc Trooper, Echo, relatively easy farm. Arc Trooper is a little bit difficult, Echo is as well, but 5 and Rex work out pretty good that you can get them relatively easy. As you can see, I'm still working on them. Not only that, you can use clones inside of the Sith Triumvirate raid, so that will help your guild out as well. You can get Trey shards later on inside of the game. But Shock T on defense works pretty well. Using it for offense as well. A lot of good counters, a lot of good things on defense. So consider this group right here later on, once you get to some of these other squads upgraded, finding what you want to use and how you want to use them. So the last group we're looking at right here is Qui-Gon Lead, and it requires you to get his Omicron ability. So if you're really serious about doing GAC, having his Omicron ability is an absolute must, because without it, he's not very good at all. Still not very good at Gear 12. But once you get that Omicron ability in him, he's going to be an absolute beast mode, because when he dies, including Jedi Knight Anakin in there, AoE damage from Anakin is just going to be absolutely nuts. You can use General Kenobi if you do not want to use a Padme team or don't have access to the Padme team. General Kenobi can be replaced out of this group with old Ben, swap him out. And then we have Luminari Undula, and we have Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda, getting him geared up, making him fast, does huge amounts of damage. Getting Luminari's Omicron ability is going to be really useful. Since they added the Omicron ability to her, it's going to make her really useful inside this group with that Qui-Gon Lead, keeping them healed up, let them do damage. So having that tank, so only one option I would say is just maybe swap old Ben out and grab in General Kenobi instead. So these are my recommended groups that are relatively easy to get, relatively easy to gear up. Shards can be gotten relatively easy as well. 1.6 million account, my 4.7 million account, low-level accounts, mid-level accounts. All of us don't have these 8 and 9 and 10 million galactic power accounts. So starting out early, getting our squads upgraded is going to help us immensely in the long run, and it's actually going to do a lot of work for us inside of GAC. It's actually going to allow us to push up pretty far as well. If you have any more suggestions for squads, let me know. I'll be working on a follow-up video of this as well with some other squads that we can include for GAC. Once we get a little bit of higher galactic power, like I said, this counts 1.6 million. Does really well inside of GAC on offense and defense. So again, work on these squads, get them upgraded, get them Gear 12, even if you don't relic them out. A lot of them are really useful. Like, for example, the Trooper group, I've taken out Relic 7 Kylo group, or as Kylo lead, and just absolutely wrecked them because they just control so many aspects of the fight. Getting that speed up on them and things like that is going to be really useful. So any of these groups, throw some speed inside of there, get them working really fast. That way you can take advantage of your opponent inside of GAC. As I said, if you have any recommendations for squads, let me know, and I'll try to include them in the next video. But until then, much love, peace out, and we'll see you in the next video.